A Wellington Street homeowner and parent says it's a rare day they don't see motorists speeding by a stopped school bus with its red flashers on and stop sign engaged. Michael Medaglia says their daughter started JK in September of 2018, and that's when he really noticed the problem. Drivers blow past the bus on a daily basis. There are other stops up the street, and it's just as bad. Armed with a video security camera, Medaglia now has evidence of what he's talking about. In the video, you can see 3 separate occasions motorists can be seen driving right past a stopped school bus on Wellington Street. Some notice after the fact and then stop, while others don't appear to see the school bus at all. According to the Province of Ontario website, failing to stop for a school bus will result in 6 demerit points and driver's license suspensions for 3 months, plus a $5,000 fine. As of right now in Ontario, if you illegally pass a school bus, you will be fined anywhere from $400 to $2,000 and get 6 demerit points for a first offense. Fines and penalties vary from province to province. In Ontario, school bus drivers and other witnesses can report vehicles that have illegally passed a school bus. If you are the vehicle's registered owner, these same fines, but not the demerit points or jail time, may be applied to you. Medaglia says he has contacted his ward councillors about the problem, who in turn told him to contact city police. Medaglia was told they would do what they can, but with only 2 traffic service vehicles on patrol, it's hard for them to do more. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau made a surprise appearance at an annual summer festival in Burnaby, BC. He shook hands with festival goers and posed for selfies. He made a short election-style speech after stepping onto a fire truck. Trudeau was in Burnaby to meet with the mayor and representatives of the fire department.
We're going to keep focusing on making sure that life gets better for Canadians, as we've worked on over the past 4 years. We've managed to see Canadians creating 1 million new jobs over the past few years, and at the same time, we've seen 825,000 people lifted out of poverty across the country, including 300,000 kids with the Canada Child Benefit.
Canada suspended operations at its embassy in Venezuela yesterday, saying President Nicolas Maduro's regime is increasingly clamping down on diplomats who oppose his rule. In a statement, Foreign Affairs Minister Chrystia Freeland said the diplomats' visas are set to expire at the end of June, and Maduro's regime, which Canada has denounced as illegitimate and characterized as a dictatorship, has made it so they cannot be renewed. Freeland said the operations are being suspended temporarily, effective immediately. News that embassy operations were being put on hold came a day before Freeland was actually set to meet in New York with other members of the Lima Group, and that's a bloc that includes more than a dozen Latin American countries opposing Maduro. Canada is among as many as 50 countries that have said Maduro stole last year's election and is no longer the legitimate leader of Venezuela. A much-anticipated final report from the National Inquiry into Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women and Girls calls on police services to do a better job dealing with human trafficking cases. The report is to be released in Gatineau, Quebec today in what's expected to be a highly emotional ceremony. The findings of the federally funded inquiry focus on legal issues, including policing. Crown Indigenous Relations Minister Carolyn Bennett says the final document is not the end of the journey. Rather, she says, the federal government will now have to focus on eliminating racism and sexism in policing and other institutions, as well as accelerating progress on child welfare reforms. In the report, Chief Commissioner Marion Buller says survivors provided important truths during months of testimony, and Indigenous women and girls have been targeted for violence in what was nothing short of a genocide. A Virginia Beach city employee who witnessed a deadly shooting at a government building says he was face to face with the gunman during the rampage and yelled at him to stop.
I don't know I can't remember if I heard anything or not, but something caused me to turn around and he was standing right there. And at that time, for some reason or another, I was impelled to say, Dwayne, stop. Now, he wasn't looking at me at that time, but I was impelled to say, "Dwayne, stop," which I did. And at that point in time, he turned and looked straight at me, but he didn't see me. Looked straight in my face, and he did not see me standing there. Because he didn't raise the gun. He didn't even make an indication that he saw anyone there.